the sound.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. When I'm out. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. When I'm out. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. When I'm out. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. When I'm out.
Oh Lord, you put my enemies to shame. If not for you, why won't I be? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Lord, you put my enemies to shame. All because of you, I can stand, I can shout, I can do everything. Amazing grace, amazing grace, amazing grace, amazing grace. How sweet the sound.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. When I'm out. Thank you, Father.
Look how you are, you got my word. Turn them your do that. Ajima, Ajima. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. When you are so katato, woman no ilana na kama tewa iju. Akwe now. We are there. You are amazing God, amazing God, amazing God. You have done it all for me, for me, for me. Naholo, Achiba, Achiba, Achiba. Aha! Achiba, Achiba. Achiba. blessings start to flow like a river, and His glory begin to manifest in your life. When people begin to respect you, you have to know that God made it possible. When the blessings start to flow like a river, and His glory begin to manifest in your life. When people begin to respect you, you have to know that God made it possible. My God is able, He's able, He's able, He's able, He's able to do more than you know. My God is able, He's able, He's able to do more than you know. My God is able, He's able, He's able, He's able, He's able to do more than you know. My God is able, He's able, He's able to do more than you know. La 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 la. Telling you you meet you. Oh, let to be a you. Now listen. When poverty has taken over your life and you don't know what to do again, just look up to the Messiah and just know He can make things possible. Just look up to the Messiah and just know He can make things possible. He's able, able. He's able to do more than
I have for your bamwachi ediba L.A Tv Morning Breeze show no enona yebehwe na chese bibia ko nkan ama ya ewo oman Ghana muni wiase afana nyina enne the 12th of May 2026 brother Tuesday said ye kanu ewo brofum enne ye man Ghana kasam yese brother aha enti wa ye wo mo brother ni nyina enne mo special day I was yesu yetumi recognize mo pa na chese bibia ko nkan na me kan sa no bonu se Morning Breeze show no moa munti ena yewase a pese de bia de brem nam so mu de ekoso na chese mo so motum da hyehye mu na maye na bibia ko nkan na me ba sa na bonu se nyam nkwa na moa minu abema Reggie Anderson minu aba Mama Tess ene yewase ena crew ni nyina so ewo hase a chese bibia ko nkan pa yeye ahomboabo na chese ye ne ye show no abro na bibia ko nkan pa na de show na be special show pa na asa ne beto aso ma fa chia kase pa Mama Tess na ye hu ni ko Mama Tess mi chawa no pay
Major so red Major so pa
pa na pomo
yakopon ado
ya mi ado bibia boko sa Mama Tess say ya sa bebio
sa
ejuma na ye gusu no ya na sometimes said ye ka no ebe so ya no pa no na ase miama bi asheda star bi bato be no de so miya wunia na ofemu na chese hu ni e kwenti no ye de motivational quote ni betu dwa na chese ye nua ahye hu nkran na chese wo so ahwe no wo so ahye hu nkran ye da ase pa sa do fidi na to ase a oni ehwe bobando pe ma test e de motivational quote e be na chese ye wunia ko ma test
okay I say your motivational quote for next Tuesday 12 May 2026. I say the time is always right to do what is right. The time is always right to do what is right. Martin Luther King Jr.
Sa Martin Luther King opinion kese bia emabi atwam na o freedom fighter pa ema black Americans no ni wiase afana nyina na uhunhwe they were born modern pa so we ma before no more America no o ma je o mfa wo de na chese bibia ko nkan mam from racism ne nkeka ho na otumi se modern pa tinidin edu chiri pa eba Africa nyina chese oyo bia yeah, African leaders in respecting the pa, American cast so more respecting the pa, even above ni be white ni require respecting the pa, just be a conkan e man nti ono no o obi aso bi na no so wakasa e wo say yin na yetumi tie no asopem na just be a conkan ma nti na sema o de ba and then we say the time is what?
It is always
right to do
the right things.
It's the
time is always right to do what is right. The time is always right to do what is right.
Osha se bibi a person we ya de papa no entwentwen so kra wo person we bibi na sade ni ya de papa entwentwen so kra. It is always the right time to do what is right. Now matters unchia your sponsors man na pay.
Medenchia idi kaima Helios Care Center. Se anapenso so mo kan na benebra no ye di dwumadi ibreo afei so method cleaning services no so ye de na semawo se cleaning services bi a wo hia bia no odan wo mombe ya ma na afei ye ko world cup de nye ba bia na be hwe so ba new nation travel and tours omo se ombe bibia ma na omo de wakọ aba asundwem pepepe omo na omo aso ya se na de bia timitina bonenti ye se ye da omo se
Try Sima Emra, Yaba near the news headlines around the world. Abetuja, Yaba Sisia and Kobebia.
Abusia wo hwe me wako aba ade ba Helios Care Center ahaye treaty conditions bi te say obi a wanya spondylosis obi a wachi bramu wachi kasai eye wo ya wontimi nyina so mfa nya adwuma obi a won so de ne sciatica enti ama aye oto ase entini nitam emuta atwetwon obi nso a ne de ne eye ne kotodwe emu ahodwo enti wontimi nyina so nya adwuma obi nso a ne de no eye ne sisi ananse bia bibi a efra no lambago ana back pain wachi kase no eye wo ya yie pa ma otini mu ana okon mu kura no a abusia woten ka se ye wo ya obi so a ne de no eye arthritis say ye osteoarthritis say ye rheumatoid gout ne nyina no o de ba Helios Care Center ye behwe na ye yie firi wo so ye was Sankofo bus stop Michelle Camp Road fire numbers e wo screen so na frɛ ye oba ye beboa pa ye firi wo so. Na enen ye ba behwe the signs and symptoms of spondylosis ohawa etama ye chibremu ye chikase no eho kire no ema ye chikase no eho etochiba enti ema obi oho no mo a onamo a na wachia ana se eta eye ne yayie pa onubu oho no nso a onamo a otimi hu se obre yie ana se ogina wo se wo ye adwuma ana se wo ye ade a otenka se na chikase no eta eye ne yayie pa abusia de atia ne se wachika sai ebe hyase ayewo ya enema bi a wo hu no ene se ontimi nante se de ya na nka otimi enante kane no obi nso ho no mo a na chika sai no eya na emu etai eye no titiridi ana se de anka nipa bi a wachika sai etimi ye flexible na se wo pese wo ku mu a watimi akụ nkoa mu no obi wo ha okase won nkoa ne mu a abusua wontimi enkoa ne mu obi nso ho no mu a sabi wo se eba se bi a esese wo gya ne nan kora no a eya no won te se sabi esese wo gya ne nan wo behwa na chese wo gya ne nan agu ne ho eno ane efre ne se losing of sensation na yese ekoba ne sa na chese atenka sabi se jonso de wo a ubenya no anase bia wopese wugya wonan a ubenya no saa atenka no efiri ho kɔ wenum nyina ayensenkyerene a abusua ehya ase se ba wo so a na kyese kyerɛ wo se wochika sai no chimato bi aba ho ba ne saa ode beba Helios Care Center na yahwɛ na yayi efiri so na obi bisa se spondylosis kura na ɛdeɛ na de ba nneɛma hodo bebree ebi ene se enyini odasani unyini a eduru baabi a especially yema amenomo ne yem papa no mo a omanyi efiri beye se 55 years kono eya na bebree no a ewo saa ohawi na afei nso obi wo hono mo nso a na adwuma a woyɛ anaasɛ bi a emfie bebree nie adwuma a oyɛ no adwumaden woni eta soasoa nneɛma woni eta pagya nneɛma obi ho no ma na adwuma a oyɛ na ya tenase otenase kyɛ obetimi atenase the whole day ye maame no mo ayɛ amotonton ade wo dwam mokola dwam kanashi agbobolosi dwam ni ade mo nso so munyi adu baabi a mota enya saa spondylosis a ye ka ho asɛm anaasɛ taa oni a andom taa emfie bebree nie no omo nso eta enya eye saa spondylosis a ye ka ho asɛm esan sɛ taa no sɛ wonuma aduru baabi a abusua etimi ema eye ensuo bi ewo eye ye chika sɛ no ensuo totrotro bi ewo baabi a yatoatoa nompe no saa ensuo totrotro no eno na ma wo chika sɛ no emu eye mre entekoba sɛ bi a esese wo ko asɛ de obroni ka ne sɛ eye flexible enti ekoba sɛ esese wo ko mu a wotumi akwa no saa ensuo no nyinaa no enam cigarette na wanom over the years enti no ema saa ensuo no nyinaa besen kɔ enti ensuo no besen kɔ saa ema wo chika sɛ no ɛhɔ no ɛwo ɛyɛ dry enti ɛyɛ dry na sɛ ɛwo saa na afei obehu sɛ na bushins na ɛhyɛ hɔ no nso na ɛno nso so ɛwewe enti ɛwe na afei dompe ni dompe edi ahyia ekoba ne saa wachika sɛ no emu bɛyɛ wo ya wachika sɛ no okun mu a wo bɛbrɛ wachika sɛ no ugina wo sɛ wo ya ade a kakra na emu ya wo ya enti wenum ne enema abusua etimi ema obi endobi nso anadie no nso ebi ane ede wo no sɛ de obroni eka ne sɛ genetics enti ebi ana ɛwɔ ɛyɛ na busuam ene ye de awo no na ne nyina akyi de eka ne sɛ fabra.
back 61 commercial vessels and disabled 4 since the blockade began on April 13th. The tanker strikes appear to have sharpened the tone of the Iranian warnings. Tehran sees the disabling of its tankers as acts of war. Washington sees them as blockade enforcement. The gap between those two framings is where the next escalation lives. The human cost of the maritime confrontation is now mounting. Iranian media said civilians were killed, wounded, or missing after reported U.S. strikes on cargo and fishing vessels near the Gulf, claims that remain only partially verified in open reporting. Mehr news agency said targeted vessels belonged to residents of coastal towns and that crew members were wounded and hospitalized in Oman. Separate reports described a cargo vessel catching fire after being struck, with injured sailors transferred to hospital. Iranian media described them as cargo boats and fishing vessels with civilian crews, though the circumstances of the strikes remain disputed. What is not disputed is that people are dying at sea in a confrontation that both sides say they do not want to escalate further.
And I don't understand why anybody would not be supportive of that. And he doesn't understand, and rightfully so, somebody would be supportive of that. But here's a more fundamental problem. Iran now claims that they have a right to control an international waterway. They claim that they have a right to control it. What is the world going to do about that? Is the world going to accept that Iran now controls an international waterway? Because if the world is prepared to accept that, then be ready. Because there's like 10 other countries that are going to start doing the same thing in their international waterways, or in international waterways near their countries. That's an unacceptable thing that they're trying to normalize. So if the answer is no, we don't think Iran should be able to control the Straits of Hormuz, then the next question is going to be for everyone, well, what are you going to do about it?
The war just expanded deeper into the Gulf. On Sunday, the UAE's defense ministry said Iran fired 2 drones at Emirati territory. Both were engaged by air defense systems. But the significance of the strike is not in the 2 drones. It is in what came before them, what followed them, and what is now happening across multiple Gulf airspaces at the same time. Because the UAE was not the only country reporting threats on Sunday. Kuwait confirmed that hostile drones had been detected inside its airspace. A commercial vessel was struck near Qatar, and Iran's military issued warnings that crossed a line no previous statement in this war had crossed. Something shifted over the weekend. The confrontation is no longer concentrated at Hormuz. It is spreading across the Gulf itself, and the countries caught in between are running out of room to stay out of it. The Kuwait development is the one that changes the map. Kuwaiti authorities confirmed that hostile drones were detected inside the country's airspace. Officials have not specified the number of drones, their origin, or whether any interception took place. But the detection triggered heightened monitoring and defensive readiness across Kuwaiti military infrastructure. Kuwait sits north of the main Gulf flashpoints and hosts critical military and logistical facilities, including bases used by Western forces. The fact that drone activity is now being reported inside Kuwaiti airspace means the current wave is no longer limited to frontline zones near Hormuz or the southern Gulf. It is expanded. And the question Kuwaiti authorities have not yet answered, where did the drones come from? Is the question.
The European Union has agreed new sanctions against Israeli settlers. The bloc points to a surge in violence against Palestinians in the occupied West Bank since the start of the war in Gaza. Israel has denounced the measures, calling the sanctions arbitrary and political.
In Brussels, EU foreign ministers approved new sanctions to blacklist individual Israeli settlers and organizations. The measures had been blocked for months by the former Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, but the new government in Budapest has now lifted the veto.
Today, we reached a political agreement to sanction Israeli extremist settlers and entities. This goes together with new sanctions on leading Hamas figures. This means that we move from the political deadlock that was there for a long time. Violence and extremism carry consequences.
The new sanctions reflect rising violence against Palestinians as Israeli settlements expand in the occupied West Bank. The EU says there has been a surge in violence by settlers since the Gaza war began in October 2023. Israel's foreign minister, however, has condemned the EU's decision.
The European Union has chosen, in an arbitrary and political manner, to impose sanctions on Israeli citizens and entities because of their political views and without any basis.
Despite the agreement, EU nations remain divided over whether to go further, with some pushing for broader economic measures against Israeli settlements.
Our Brussels correspondent Rosie Burchard is on the story. Rosie, tell us more about these sanctions. What's the idea behind them?
The idea is to have some sort of punitive measure in response to what the EU says is a surge in violence against Palestinians. Now, this is a measure which had been on EU ministers' table for months. It had been long stalled, and I think most here think it was also really long overdue. Once we saw that new Hungarian government sworn in over the weekend, that appeared to be the thing which shifted the dial, lifted that veto, and meant that this measure could move forward. But Nicole, make no mistake, this is seen as an absolute lowest common denominator. There are all sorts of other ideas which have been knocking around EU ministers' table for months and even years at this stage over tougher punitive measures against not only violent settlers but against, in fact, the Israeli government. And those, for now, still really remain stalled and don't seem to be moving anywhere fast due to the bitter divisions between EU members on this topic of ties with Israel, which is one of those which causes such deep disagreement between these countries.
Let's zoom in on Germany, because Berlin has a strong but diplomatically sensitive relationship with Israel. Is Germany fully backing these sanctions?
Yes, Germany is fully backing these sanctions against violent settlers and groups that are seen as supporting them. But beyond that, Germany is not in favour of any tougher EU-level action against the Israeli government, which has been proposed so far. So we saw in the past Germany blocking a proposed measure to downgrade trade ties with Israel. Instead, Berlin has been urging for dialogue with Israel. And I should say that that has been frustrating some other EU countries. It really struck me today to hear Luxembourg's foreign minister making what I think was a really veiled or thinly veiled allusion to Germany when he said some countries are using their history in a way which he says is preventing any EU action. He says that has rendered him speechless. So there is some criticism of Berlin on that front, although that's criticism, of course, that Germany pushes back strongly against. It says it really does advocate strongly for a two-state solution and does try to hold the Israeli government accountable.
Some in the EU have proposed trade sanctions on Israel as well. Can we expect movement on that front now?
Okay, so on this proposal which we had last year, which was to downgrade trade ties entirely, that seems to me to be moving nowhere. And that really is because Germany and some other EU countries, including Italy, are blocking it. They don't want it to move. Where we may see some movement over the next couple of weeks, maybe months, is a proposal that's come from France and Sweden to restrict or ban trade with illegal Israeli settlements, so to restrict the import of goods into the EU from those settlements. That is something which the EU's Foreign Affairs Chief says she's talking to her trade colleague about to try and get some sort of a proposal on the table there. And we've heard a call from some member states that have been very vocal about this, the likes of Spain, Ireland, saying we need to move forward on this. There is no actual proposal for them to consider just now, but we may see something coming to their table in the next couple of weeks for them to review. Although, of course, the precedent here is that they get these proposals for sanctions on their table, and that's kind of where they remain. They end up frozen due to this disunity, and that may be what happens with this proposal on restricting trade with illegal settlements as well.
All right, now that these sanctions have been approved, tell us what happens next. How will these measures actually be implemented?
So in the next couple of days, we're going to get published in the EU's official journal. So that's where these laws are actually published, the names of the people and organisations which are going to be blacklisted under this latest raft of sanctions. And those people and organisations will then be banned from travelling to the EU. Any assets they have in the EU will be frozen, and it will become illegal for any EU entities to do business with them. So they're designed really to pack a punch here. And what we've heard from human rights campaigners is that they want this to be a starting point rather than for the EU to say, OK, we've made this measure now and we're going to take our pedal off the gas. They want further measures to try and ensure some sort of accountability. Remember, the EU is Israel's biggest trading partner.
DW's Rosie Burchard there in Brussels. Thanks so much for your reporting, Rosie.
Well, let's get more from Israel now. Our correspondent Emily Gordine joins us from Jerusalem. Emily, tell us more about Israel's response to these sanctions.
Well, Israel rejected firmly this decision. Foreign Minister Gideon Saar, we saw it just in the report, said the EU imposed these sanctions in a, quote, arbitrary and political manner. He's basically rejecting the premise that these sanctions sanctioned settlers committed human rights abuses. And that reflects a sort of a wider response from Israeli officials who are treating this as a politically motivated action rather than something that is based on evidence on the ground. Now, Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich, who was a co-founder of one of the organizations that has now been sanctioned and to which he still holds very close links, called in response to the annexation of quite strategic areas in the occupied West Bank. We've not actually had a response from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, although he did hold a security meeting tonight, though that is likely going to have focused on the ongoing conflict with Iran rather than these EU measures.
Are these sanctions, Emily, likely to make any difference on the ground there in the West Bank?
I think it's unlikely. The sanctions target a small number of individuals and organizations, and they likely knew that this was coming.
For your sign your news headlines around the world, no any question, and as I will do no, share your weather no quickly, man. Test them say weather no report now ready, and you the echo so and then Ghana your weather said the WMB no.
And I already to said ya dia to so na ye cheche mu ha no pese me de summary no to ase start answer or say mist and fog patches is expected over the forest, mountainous and a few coastal areas during the early hours of this morning amidst partly cloudy conditions. Just an apay crown in Subia e go be mia baby or coastal areas ha. As the day progresses into the afternoon, sunny weather will dominate across all sectors. However, thunderstorm or rain are anticipated over a few places in the middle sector later in the afternoon into the evening. And you know, and a period why cool dear Nancy Yabebo, maybe also, in fact, a young dear neighbor or mining in a young Beshua Hapa. It is an Americano. Open umbrella beer. Now sunglasses be. Ebi musu be use sunscreen. Ni nyina aboa se ne be ya ewiane e hye no. Ebesan bo skin ho banye sa ano ye din. Na fensu ye expect say insuo kakra bi gugu mia bebre kakra. Enti no say ye hye menso ne hu say thunderstorm na emu. Ti no hye ase a na te say insuo thunderstorm na insuo no Obe expected few places in the middle sector. Middle sector no, not just say middle sector ne mountainous Ashantis. Ashanti middle sector yes. And this enclave one Ashanti region near there no. And I be a part of Eastern Kakra. It's in the Philip Konongo and as areas in the patrolation is to say in Sio Kakra and the thunderstorm no. It's the ancient is to say send and Kakra bon for dance up a panebubu no. Tiensha so tetene na the cement blocks we say kofo e de egu omo dan so be onu se ne dan ye safe sa tiensha so afen so no the coastal belt the forecast temperatures no chere dia na say the coastal belt no na pay no 26 enti won say ewiema e boko kakra fine just 26 de na e cool na ewia no se ne si Ghana nyina na ewia e be hye no 34 degrees na wo be fam forest areas no so 25 na 35 degrees in so area no then transition no 24 and 37 in temperature so the northern sector na pay won so ayenyu almost nam 26 ni bi tell Accra hati ya nemom area de kwa nwumbe sa ne de 41 degrees area e be bono no 41 and e be koso santi emu ya hye area ne kodia emu be ya hye nti yenhye so na yehu kwa be fa so patcho na area ne so anu akata wani kakra apesan shade na de akata wani na afi no say uhia from mountain na hwentade nso abehye nya wo so ati emetimi awo ho a ma say ohun meyo hyehyehye more at least na me come say cotton dey e for kra be san awo now you okay from emetimi afem but na I say rubber ne dey say nylon ne chiffon na wo so ati na aka wo ho ne fifi na gya ho pacho yen hye ne so na yen jai eni ti no ye woda na dey na pay me dey by na die na me dey begu no
But as a dasipa na bibi edu ni yebe bie your phone lines no say avefo mo amuwo nsem bia mpesa mu di tuja no 0546472639 me penyin for edibegu screen so no ma woni e ko bo betimi afre na chese asem dia pese ye no edi hu komo bia no na also dia tudwa na chese ye nso ye di hu dwuma pa ma ne woni e ko na ye behwe ye front pages no newspapers no nde Ghana ase no ye newspapers na ye ready ma test ye behwe front pages no woni e ko until say are ready amesra me enko hwe I'm say new daily graphic and a sia no
daily graphic say no e ma mpani ma omo law school omo makwa wie omo peso mu room menim say obia woni so ade hu so peso ye lawyer no ya gugu mu ama ekwan no say dey say ye bie mu na aye ne ti no obia ni age in fact no a enkrofo e frɛ na metie wo me no so obia say ana de ya bread do che say dey na omo kasa ne ti amapani bi bisa na permitina ha me kan cho say why ya de omo da ase nyema ne bia aka no so mu hwe anim je say de obia betimi akọ law school ba bia opebia no mu ni say ayesa no mu ba den because ombe miam say na be yankofo dwen say bia ye ni say no obia keke sen wo ni so ade hu bia no pa cho un sign control entrance exams bia akuta good grades obetimi ato aso akọ akọ ye wo law pepe na so ja be bo man if say ye hwe fititete be si enne na se nipa 10,000 kra lawyers ye training on fiti o man ni bia ye start see independent be say na say lawyers ye training on society na ye ha adwen che de radio say ye do mampani ase say we bie kusa kwan nim say legal education procurement reforms begin reforms begin enti no na ewo ho no and then wasi AC starts wasi examination wasi for no so start examinations no tomorrow with oral English enti no ho na ebeti obo ha you can say English na odi we ni ba ye so say na ye kan ye de enti what THB a ledo bia ka say ladder anhwa anko tinti omo me oral so no ye ni say mo sua ade a wakote accent foforo mo betimi ate de omo kan na mo timi de aba wudie no atro interesting oral ye ya na anu ohye enti no munya maso na muntimi tie ni ye okay Ghana to fully finance vaccines critical medicines Ghana to fully finance vaccines critical what does that mean?
Critical medicines,
yeah. And then Heath Goldfields clears workers' arrears at Bugosu Prisia mines. Wow. So this is a daily graphic. They are Odiba no. It's in the daily guide ever to us. Okay, so daily guide I'm there to us no say Ghana publishing records 16.9 million Ghana cedis profit in 2025. Wow. And the Juju Gun protection fails man. Buffer stock case. Deputy AG Attorney General Yoko Boss sing different tunes. Okay. Gift Yawari goes to CS over witnesses list order. And then 3 killed in Konongo crash. Yeah, and then a daily guide and so at the buy. Yeah. And Yanko the Chronicle. 242 government don't spare illegal miners. New Kwenyaku in Kosohene pledges focus on youth employment. And then prove bribery allegations. Police administration dares critics rejects claims of exams leakage more practices. Me misano me anu penifo me brother say me say uko kache police ni say waje bribe so am ken wa wutie me afa tutrim na say wo si waje usika say ya che say we call police station and sem bia police for no so yo mo dia on bisa no o me bisa we na ugina say am paso pakono je ya untimi nyi ano che say afinti una ma ne mecho ni say ne usika na ne kuta na say o cho numbers ni nyina egu ho etunya ya usi uma no particular way ni ekofia na e woni ho ani e onye sa de e ka say waji usika ena ye bebi sa na untimi nche no kra no waso ye be hye no nti police ne ka say waji usika waji bribe ye sika immediately na akwa reporting de say wo no sika na ade man no o number na ade man me good because some be business number sika na ade man number also number be munti bi da make say police phone ase won be bisa eti we nya bia nka de ana wankasa no wo ho entina the chronicle so the bar na pay no no and then you call the dispatch or say police uncover 1,400 rounds of AK-47 ammunition hidden in a hen coop. Psychologists on 6 easy ways to remember things. Wow. See, and also so now the dispatch and so they are my anapay.
Ma tese beda sipa na emergency ebe to ye ko additional break na ye kwa kwahwe ya love my accent nearby na ye de phone lines ya tujade da nti wo pese ofra botumi afra na chese no wedi nkomo na ye ni ye Accra correspondent no ye ni wedi nkomo efa ye legal education reform no emse wetumi akọ rounds akwakoye ni report a pese na odi tujwa ni hu ni e nti Henry George Martinson Ebeba line so nyane na bon komo na chese ye hu exactly the details the all kind first one His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wa sent the signature to bill no say no ya passes our bill now by September we are sure say everything will be in effect properly and you know ye be di nkomo kakra na ye hu ne na answer na ye be call honum ye be see ye hwe I love my accent na ye sua de kakra na ye hu de ko nti say aye ready amu yenko ye ba sisi ya em say omuguso a omudi hu djuma na chese ye hu na enne mijidi say woni agi I love my accent hu no you are expectant pa so obeti a new words bia any the pronunciation no chese say ankofo etumi ka words bi no ha wo hwe Nigeria for so omude shonshon no ha ya dwen na now here the way America for so omukasa chese zi anu akasa wie and UK for so need some take care mutano omukasa na say that Ghana for so ye bro for say ye kan no we say dey ye kan I say we say okay ye nyina your differences power you but I will see a sua there okay enti ya say I ready ye person ye konya kwahwe I love my accent ye ba na ye djumade na beto aso ye ba sisia
challenge pass. Let's go. Decision. And what are you people driving slow? Continue, Joe. Oh yeah, continue too. Education. It's no Sean. It's education, not sin. Education. It's O-N, not Sean. It's I-O-N, not O-N. Okay, that's why it's I-O-N, Sean. Rubbish. Learn. That's why Ghana Jollof is better. Of course. Yes, you agree. Remove yourself. Next word, spectrum. So who do you use for internet? Spectrum. Who do you use for internet? Spectrum. It's strum. Do you just wake up and start adding unnecessary or to everything or I don't even pay you to. Get out. Continue. You know, this is our last. Just say the word. Last word. Samson. Samson. Camera off. Challenge for 16,000. Let's go. Decision. And what are you people driving slow? Continue, Joe. Oh yeah, continue too. Education. It's no Sean. It's education, not sin. Education. It's O-N, not Sean. It's I-O-N, not O-N. Okay, that's why it's I-O-N, Sean. Rubbish. Learn. That's why Ghana Jollof is better. Of course. Yes, you agree. Remove yourself. Next word, spectrum. So who do you use for internet? Spectrum. Who do you use for internet? Spectrum. It's strum. Do you just wake up and start adding unnecessary or to everything or I don't even pay you to. Get out. Continue. You know, this is our last. Just say the word. Last word, Samson. Samson. Camera off.
aba bio said abeka ya no enne ye pese ye di enkomo kakra efa ye legal reform na chese ekos wo my Ghana no onhwe wahwe news mu a wo say ye president enra ordinary signature eto krata mu say wa pene so pa say sa reforms no and take effect enti ye pese ye hu mu amusua law ni nyina ne mu a wo sam ko sam ye lawyers ni nyina no ye pese ye sua je kakra efa sa bill ya pass every parliament not just say you your correspondent or Accra Henry George Martinson you know ebedin komo kakra not just say one so church report we jano ne and some woman not just say you here for now also we are to go to the you know you say or ahoma so ana hello Eba chamu mani nene enkoso kakra na mintini ni ye mse ewo form kakra. Hello. Hello George.
Yeah, me no ye Jagbene.
Aha. Tete Toyota.
Oh, you
Okay. You have a report for us concerning the legal reforms, the legal education reforms any president has sent. Hello Imale. Okay, so I want you to tell us a bit about it, Koni. I believe that there will be more English in it today because of the nature of the conversation. Well, me I'm on here. We have just about 10 minutes to go. So tell us, come on, Onoko, what exactly is this whole bill about, and why was it passed?
Oh, okay.
All right. Hold on. Oh no way. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, hold on, Magbala. No, hear me. If you Koni, will be a sign follow a story. Okay. Your correspondent, Henry George Martinson, not some more can say, Bill, President, and Honorable Dr. McQuarrie, the command say, or I sent the signature to see our crata so. Enipa bibiri de pa se sa bill ye apie esan se so hwe Ghana ye legal education system na bibiri na obia wo se wokọ makola se da obia anim no makola ho na em se omuna school ne wo na se wo hwe a won LLB no omu first degree in law no omu wi a wo se omu kokọ tro exams wo ho no na esan se enipa ye ko ho ne doors no nti no. For the past 66 years, it hasn't been easy to actually put them into the system. It's because say Osha, enipa ekono doors into almost entrance exam and say no more room. Now as now bet me pass that entrance exam no. Because ono has one place depend na obia edi ni air chere. It's not as a numbers no said on numbers na required numbers na we share ono. Say the be ya obia bet me qualify no. Na enye easy as a na standard no ye bibi for kra all together into no you see na you decentralize and ama chese nipa bebre wait ma ko other place akwa sua law no ama nipa bebre ni eni age pa into no sa e no dey to just see no na obeto aso Harry did I get your submission? Okay, was I able to explain?
Yeah. Me only but no what I are you fantastic are you children
Great. What you
saying? The war nearly President Mahama sent the legal tuition into law.
Okay.
She got when it's a promise election promise.
Okay.
Oh, where Benny appointing a few more. Law is labor, President labor. I'm a technical legal tuition in Ghana. No, you didn't know what I mean. So I need many law students or LLB holders there. I'm not mean share one. You want? What I can walk. You legislative labor. I mean to happy. One. I told you about National Bar Council.
National Bar Council. Okay.
No, be there. If actually Ghana General Legal Council too.
Okay.
Be there. I hear fight. Then one. I hear fight. I hear one. 1 year Legon. 1 year Tipos. 1 year Kumasi. 1 year Mukula. Then 1 year UPSC. I'm doing round of legal expression in Ghana. Be there. She actually not about war. Then requisite university abanye ameran hotel. Unta ba je akwatete amerotel. Te ameliga system mi hotel. Ni ke omit ka requirement ke abu na kagbe ke ko wana. Oh. Ni ento wa keshi. Cut enough. Obe abelo through yedeme. Ke oba it. Oba west. Ke oba region. Ìdílé kò ní ìgbà Ghana wá. Nàìjíríà kò ní lóní di àfihàn mẹ́rin ẹ̀mí ṣe wá. Ní kí àgbẹ̀nà National Bar Council Amaset National Bar Exams. After 1 year ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ntẹ̀ ó kà sí ní ló kà sí professional law training yẹn ló kà sí yẹn. Àwọn àmà exam tẹ̀ ẹ̀fẹ̀ náà lọ́wọ́ ọba jẹ́ ẹ̀fẹ̀ ní ọjà ní ọmọ exam tẹ̀ ní kẹ́ ọ̀pá tẹ̀ post-call about table into law practice in Ghana, Reggie.
Okay. Well, Ghana Legal Council. Ameyejeme Ololo ni
Ameyejeme si Amateur Center for Law Professional Lawyers. Ghana prosecutors. Special legal in Amateur Ghana be.
Okay. Well, the difference is that they don't have that monopoly anymore. They are not controlling the examination and then administration at the same time.
They are a monopoly.
Okay.
First, I'm giving it round of monopoly.
Okay.
Then I General Legal Council lady.
Okay.
I come National Bar Council. National Bar Council. The Bar Council, the National Bar Council. No, if you know Ghana, come with the Bukujo, the Yoyo. It's a law. I'm just saying that me, all my head and say.
Okay.
Me can't go away. More than 1 year. Because 1 year, I had 3 exams. Me, I'm just take care of lawyers.
Okay.
Honestly, 1 year, I'm gonna take 3 exams. Care of lawyers.
Okay. Yo, Henry.
Yes.
Any last words? So time to fata. When I was better.
Many talk, Mayake. Maybe nearby war. May me say why.
Okay.
It's okay. Come on. Because of monopoly, they didn't let us know the war. But what you Ghana, I Gambia, I Nigeria. Now I'm my exams again. No, I'm not possible anything.
Okay.
Honestly, Nigeria kò ní ẹ̀ẹ́dì ojúgbà the prophetic lawyers were amúnámíṣẹ́ Ghana kò ní President Mahama is sent into the law.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Henry. Wonderful to be papa me wa no bastudio ko ni won blast. And Mijiri director who videos be all concerning sir legal education I reform ya over honey videos be about my boy ma na last words here correspondent can no patch say no sir me kwama ho den na me de control bibia bro focus me friend monopoly no danka Ghana Legal Council no ekura no say no ye jefe on sema ya form bibia friend National Bar Council. The National Bar Council na education aspect no additional aspect no na is up so law school nim person sua dia said that we kon kan wo ne exams abetro ne keka ho no sa National Bar Council will be in charge of that. Now fe no na Legal Council no so aye omo normal ejuma na o so me no handle prosecutors ne keka ho no sa na Henry enti no your videos be person edit to dwa na chese musu munya at least a small understanding of said Niama assistant or your law education, not just say, you'll be able to say air con. Now, me said I can, Mema Henry Abba studio, or say, or no, per his estimations, or she said, yeah, a 7 story now, con out to say, Nipa be brain, Jipa, say, yeah, threats are education, law education, and a legal education, not to say, will be a chance every room. Now, question that will be on say, Mama test. Question that will be on say. So obia remu sana emma quality na standard no emba for man na eno ni asema che se obia ebisa esi anti ebie phone lines na also wa adwentwe bia obetimi da to jana che se ye hu ne e company for no so efa e course na ye no be edi hu komo na che se ye hu ne e ko nti ye hwe videos no say ready na ye ba ye beto aso ma test minim se na person can.
Did you know thousands of Ghanaian law graduates are denied entry into the Ghana School of Law every year? Well, that might be about to change. The new Legal Education Reform Bill 2025 is set to end the long-standing monopoly of the Ghana School of Law. Here's what's changing. First, no more single training center at Makola. Accredited universities like UG, KNUST, GIMPA and others could now run professional law training. Second, the tough GSL entrance exam, it will be replaced.
Instead the American quality need the so that because I standard it's no sana better so there's no way some more no before ba now could have first degree that it say right from baby I want we first degree exams bia car say we can ho no any courses bia say we can to come out as a sana be film because UPSA they are minimum just as one of the schools I can say discipline straightness so much wo and it's anya de bia omobeka say ye James say no how mama imagine say obi awie first degree okuta e bia first class no akotro exams omokola yes one pass nti no na wa born odinya first class and say dey na oyechu empo no odinya first class na fide okotro nti mokola exams say ye dey enko a dey enko a me makoto questions papers wo ho some years back school bia na me ko no questions ni so dey nye easy omo questions ni mom dey say woni mu ahutimi ntro aha nche ya dia obi abesua obi opaso ko obi asua de enti sana enti na nkofo ka say why ready say opese utwa say na usua de no you usua de say because mom be jeje hu as a student we jeje hu cause it said dey na ye idia na me bia na marking scheme mom po na afia be ko so but normal quality ni dey ma from that.
Video no na video na ready na ente de
Did you know thousands of Ghanaian law graduates are denied entry into the Ghana School of Law every year? Well, that might be about to change. The new Legal Education Reform Bill 2025 is set to end the long-standing monopoly of the Ghana School of Law. Here's what's changing. First, no more single training center at Makola. Accredited universities like UG, KNUST, GIMPA and others could now run professional law training. Second, the tough GSL entrance exam, it will be replaced with a national bar examination that every qualified graduate can sit for. Third, a brand new regulatory body called the Council for Legal Education and Training, CLET, will take over from the General Legal Council. And here's the biggest shift. Old system 4-year LLB plus entrance exam plus 2 years at GSL. New system 3-year 4-year LLB plus 1-year law practice training course at your university, followed by the national bar exam. The government says this moves Ghana from a system of exclusion to one of inclusion. But critics warn, will quality drop? Are universities ready? Implementation is expected by September 2026. So the big question is Is this the democratization of legal education or a risky experiment? Let me know what you think in the comments. Did you know thousands of Ghanaian law graduates are denied entry into the Ghana School of Law every year? Well, that might be about to change. The new legal education
Yo, I have for someone the two Janet say changes and overhaul now about your legal educational system no and I the two Janet say no you be try your sima your ba ma test at the health segment no e be so you ever see and ko bibia.
Akwaba eba L.A Morning Breeze Jumedie so fire do ya a health segment so ena meno wasabo impuni impubie mu no said ya nimu no fiti efiade etwa mu no ye de Jumedie bi sie ne so a eye ema ho asem ye pregnancy na emu wankasa efise ye afe 9 months na ya afe according to anything na so no ye beto aso na nsa na ye bedu eho no na de ye ba be hye nyina ya na ya hye no eneno nka yepese ye aerobics kakra because bi fe me ka che me say ya otwen me na de omo ye no pese oye bi na ka me pese me go straight also pa me chew me man intini because o hye de omo ye na no so asua na che say waye ne be 1 week ti me change ya na we change etini send e be a me man nye ti say bi a mintie no me man ya kona nsa ne be ko pese me de na se ma ye sponsors ye Helios Care Center Mesi omochi akwanya ya akwamo sanku 4 unya duwa bisa obia be se signboard si obia so betimi a kyerew e wo Michelle Camp Road ne so e ho na akwa odu sanku 4 betimi ho Helios Care Center e nompemu anwuma na omo ye wo ho enyi nwa chini ko na ba be di adanse sanso be third cleaning services so pese wo offices e dan bi a wasi wa wie pese ye mu fine na de rent it say idea bi a ye cleaning e ti ye hu ni important mu die nkanka ni offices ani efie new buildings me say hwehwemochi akwan na o me ni nyina ma o hwe contact na etwagu na wa frem na oni omo edi nkitaso afi so no World Cup so passport are ready and you late you say we are say early bird na late ntino omo ye later and late birds no momra na omehwe mo fefe maka cho say L.A omutimi amutimi ya azan bia wa because ye hwehwe omumu ansana na omo so mo trust yen ansana omo ba enitino keka ho kakra wanya no fa na bisa o fa numbers na be bisa o ma nhyehyeye no omo no be hyehye you World Cup ni free ho no mo a omo wo enema be breed say bia o pese one kasamu students am organize trips bi ni ade fa air ticket ho airport ne chese bi biara o mehwe ni nyina ma me say ebu ha na wanya kakra na wunya bi onko a o the bank statement uni bi unya 1 billion bi angumu dia me so fa kakra na wo ne ba no mo no ntina se mo no betsa se ya hyehyɛ ni mu no na obu ba bia ye place na ndie wo so wadi no kra ma wo na omati ya bibia fefefe obi nti fa the ticket ma won tu kwan ma na aba na ba won se wani ate nti ye hye ne nso omo no maso ya se a ye di dwumadi brot ye twa ye ho ni aerobics kakra bi obi se o sua bibi enne na ye fa into aso pregnancy into aso enfambra minim se nia osua de na sua onso ahwe bibia obekoso na waye eniti anapɛ se ne no echeche nuro calcium supplements bia obetimi afafa no ene pese ye hwe nia onyima obetimi aye ene nia wontimi ye na ne eto aso se kwan wo ho a ye de beto aso anye saa de am se 9 months na nyame boa ye be santo aso ochina enti ene na anapɛ ne ye hwe se wo ye bia wafa ye funu a ete saa de edi kan se wo ye pa ne se obekɔ antenatal no very very often entina on kase me call ye no yesi membra abs o command ni yesi bra Friday bibi ntia na se ade Tuesday no se bia no akọ na nebna huna mo nya ofanya entina ho man kase necessary kase membra Friday mpacho ye nyinsen na wafa ana se nyinsen na wonyem akola fufo share ye nipa fufo share ye ntino ye hye so pass wo ko enne de bia obeko bia be ka cho se bra ebia 4 days 5 days and next week no uti bibia ye unusual na say unte ho asepe me patro no di America to no akọ doctor ho na nurses for ne ho na omasa hwe na efefefe afen so na say unya mese obeda me patro entina se na nya rest unhia say obeda you need enough rest pa ebu ha udampa ne supo no relax da ya na ye na fa books be kan se na be ya obe wo ba na aba na IQ no na enam so on be maw na on pay extra teachers MHS school fees extra classes fees so what you say it you know obi a wonyem no ba wonyem bia no me so we hear enough rest pa woye no awie no na anuane bi a se wudi no so hye ne so say healthy meals nko na aduane a pomdin wom ya ho kama nko na se wudi na afi so exercise bi kakra na wo ye at least ubetimi anante ubetimi aye se de amama na so the table kitwa bi a wo form si o de na ba kutia so na wa hye na wa ye chese exercise kakra ubetimi aye na wa ye na so be hu na se bi onye oni ni kunu mo na main road ne so na mo koba ni nyina eboa any nest of kind and as not of kin your kind he say we produce your own kind ntina no so nya emfasodia e wo exercise mu afia say offer prescribed vitamins a lot adia ma no say ukona data hwehwe mu afa yefu na wie no nia obehwehwe baka say wonni we je say offer we ni ode be ma won no so ese say umia wani na wonnom supplement bia ni asase so enyo enye chloroquine ana nya amodiaquine ti mesrew hyene nso se ukọ na ma aduro bia wo ben no se de beboa wankasa enu ye dia doctor dia mawo so ti ase aha ena ese unum nsuo pa bebre na we stay hydrated enu beboa na efim ba wo mu a toxin bi ba wo mu a ebe hydrate bia na aba be flash ni nyina out enti hyene nso na ese odan so a oda on your side, sleep on your side. So what you say, udu baby or prince anymore. Una wachi, untimi so na ye funu so. Nti unchemu say no, any unchemu say then if kakra no what that be unkum kakra. Discomforting sometimes. Obi ani ni adebode de be ma no nti na wa hye no so. We mu ye niema esese wo ye. Afensu ye hye nia ensese wo ye so afa ye funu a. Ensese ni ensese wo ye no one ensese wo num ensa anase obefa smoking e dia ka ho pepacho enfa ensanom any smoking uyo bia wo smoking ananom nsa bebra unyanya ye funu pe esese utwa so entem ade ensese wo ye kra ujai smoking ne ensanom na ye alcohol no na wajai afenso ese enuro bia wankasa wo wa nanka first wonnom no ujai manokra ne sese wanyai no na wonnom no unim ena wonyima ye num aduru eye supplement pe ndi se mfi doctor na akofa niema bi num a ye no kure we betimi awo na baba ko uba na so ba ko ni wo ana na so mieri na ne sa ba ko am for me ye because e do na awo no ba ko sei moja ni ba bia wonum adekode eni ti onum enko pe no bia nonom odia ne se wo be ko hospital doctor ahwew se bibia ye okay hwe moja mu a ne etie bia no be kyew na kyese wa ye ho na wa ye dia doctor approve ye no nkwa na se wonum ena afin so no emma aduane die na entutu aduane die so ti ase entutu don't skip meals time say odidi bia na say odidi because see an why mienu e bia na won fa ye fu na de bia akomo de cross me de e kakra but see an na wa fa ye fu de mpacho enye e kakra asem say odidi sene say odidi no na afi so avoid raw or spoiled food enya ni bia ye raw say bia if I say banchi e bia ni edwa banchi no wa fa bi na wo we bode enye bia aduane bia ya raw bia ye mfa ejan kan ye no e say avoid na afenso bia no wa no aduane asi ho na braye ni munti no wantimi am preserve your fridge na wo just see kitchen ade be chu be ko na sabi na bon o say mi de mitimi ntu aduane nwo ye tie ni say wonyim a unya diary akodi aduane bi say na fa wo yemu a emmo na abem ni ko fa wo yemu a at least wo betimi arane akọ but wonyim na diary atachichiwa wan hwe yi a eba na wonyim no eba ba besen eti hye ne so say aduane ase ebo anyinya de twim ne kan say aduane anyinya se enfanya wo star what is ebo na atugu ebi won po wanya diary nti wan se na wo be fun ko ba film anu so be bre eti ye hye ne say aduane a eye raw anasa ase de yendi and I feel avoiding too much caffeine. Obi a ope drinks a caffeine woman no pacho e se ujai because medical can say unya rest e se utimi enya enough na se ko no caffeine na obi a no say caffeine e no no ma e ma won nasa we energy ma we ti say wine na usi wo nti avoid caffeine now so don't carry very heavy loads bag kra ekuta kra wo de nam kra ma munye du ma pesa ni bag mu adudu du ni wade e hye so hye gold ye te so organa ye ni bi so de bia ni bag mu adudu but wa fa ye fun dia emfa ni ma mu odu not even your handbag because no kra no wa bread da now bag mu asan ye du ekuta eti ye hye ne so se ni ma bia kokukuru nsuo mo bi mua because ma ukuru na one wonyem no ma omo no kukuru nsuo ma esese won no kuro hu se wo pese ofa de emodi na ofa ma ntime so bi ani nchen a pia bonti ko pro bi emma enye wankasa mfa ahode kakra na okuta na mfa nkoyesa na yenhwe afenso yenhwe niema bi a se yehu a ye fe ne se danger signs a ehu chese ne bi a ehu a esese ye hye ne nso se ohu sa te bi ani bi a na wa hwe de abeye se wo fa yefu na esese ohu doctor ententem so se niema we se bi hu bi a bia na last no Friday me chese we abo se moja nketenketi bi ebeba but we die se hu se moja na eba no edoso a abra wa fa yefu no pa na me pa cho eye ntem so na se udi gidi enye ayam hihie but ntem so no na wa peka na de wakwa hu doctor enten se wo che afi so hu se wanya severe stomach pain se wo yefu ya wo japa ni nyina no se wo ka ho enye se me hwe anim kakra sane ne yenjai unya doctor na wo hu adekode nti baka se nyehwe yefu na wafa nti mesrew de pentem ne yefan ko hospital ne ko hwa adekode wo yefu na afi unya high fever so that when you fever bi wa chiwa ebo ko ba bi wo ha untimi kra na ise to say never be giddy. We don't find this high sanity. I just will be about damn there be, but once a near be koye. No Jamaica, no one share. What can doctor show? I feel so tea a pie or pie because we fire for now beginning. No benya tipaya here and there, but a baye bebrace as I'm a boss so now into media. Na Jamaica na dey akọ hospital fe so won se wani su ayetum won se da o sori a se wo ti ahwe hu ade yi men try yes a be hwe form eno so so pacho ko niema enye a hu ese o ko hospital na make che no e na fe so hu se wanim ahunhu no because obi an se fa yefunu a naturally no bi an the body bu na nim be hu kakra but bu etimi pu so ese ye ntem na okokoshe na fe be hu se akola ne nsa no e movie biom because we do e bia better say Sunday movie better but who sa fehwe on kan ne ho ne Sunday nya yi bia mu pe a me pa cho we ye bra akwana du ninyi so bi on say wa be ni munya wakọ anim no me pa cho Jamaica na ko hu doctor ne nhwa de kodin ma e na fe so no wa ye we nyina echi no ye nhwa ne se edu baby na ye ka se labor and delivery nyema bi abehwe se wo call labor me na me pese meka labor but before I dey share because labor there say uko dey uko bre aye bibi so nti no eya mpese dey bre ne be ka pregnancy ne nka say bia oboni o won fa labor nka wo say uko deliver nti o delivery room Africa ne Ghana ne labor ward and a labor room uko bre answer dey bi e say kase uko ya say ya show on say you are just going to deliver uko year pie sort ya say it me am mpese me ka labor nti nima bi abehwe so hu sa signs na che say delivery time aso no e bi ni so say obe hu say contractions obi a wa woda na wo a wo da e bi akọ hospital ya chew etu obe hu say contractions no ashasi eba afi obe hu say insuo na akola ne dem no insuo na pai experiences amaye hu say enye easy etimi pai bucket paint bucket here dey cheche tomatoes ni ade ebe pa na ye makro megu fom yakopon hu pa eniti ye nhya ne nso na ye nhwe se wo hu se nsuo na pa ya entina ho chese America na ko hospital na doctors nhwe na ne ebe on ba ya mountain no na o ma ya ma e se wo hu se nyinsan na wafa no e ya de emu de de eso una nyame ayi se o de generation fofo e fa so aba enti na form etu hu sa science ye e mo bi kan cho se we enye hwe onye medical doctor se bi ye ni nua ana bi ye no hwe nsi a enye onye odi pa kono ena ye se ye ne nso na yemfa o hare so enye ayam hihie but o hantem so ne yemfa nko hospital afi bo se wachi eye wo jepa pena ba wachi olowa ahase ne nyese wachi nkase but usisi achi hase no bo se ya wo pa wuntimi nye hwe chese se o ye ne ntem na o hospital afi so bo se pressure ba o pelvis ne wa beti obi a onyim bia se ne America nyina o beti obi hu se sa ne mari nyina wo kom maka cho se pregnancy ni wasem ne dey enough from ewapa because 9 months asem enti no eneso so no ne ekwan be mame a betimi ni wacha kosi no so hwa na me kasa ntenten because ewa but ne kosi ya ne se almost some for time ni nyina mame nko a enti no edu be si ya ne nyame ya adom a ochena ye beto aso na ya hwede aka no na chese ehu se pregnancy wonsem no me fa malaria nka mawie ba say pregnancy dey na form science minye nwie and nti ye da boafo ase ye da Helios Care Center ase ye da be talk any services for ase and ye say da new nations travel and tours on so ase o say bra no fa onko World Cup ye twa ye hu ni e be ye the sports ye the entertainment ye the business ye the nyina e be nti mo fidie no enda he ya
Ada mama test asepa se odi health segment no abama bibia akonkan wutie nyinsemu ensensem na utumi se ma ebrepa so befa 9 months mu kwa oba ehye wo yema chese esesa we esesa we duan die mu esesa obi bia mu no enya asema ebe asem ketwa kra mitumi nka se enya asem ketwa because me mfe mu da but the mechanic say enya asem ketwa kra enya de ebe easy kra to go through but then nyame eno ahye ne sa ntini beda obo ade so asese oma ema etumi fa sa 9 months yi mu a omutumi eko awo so na chese omusan ba fia bibia akonkan bom no enhira nkwa eneko ema otwede amponyankopon se wama sa akwanya ema etumi di enipa eba wiase ma tese da se pa ni church a odi abre na bebi edu no ye business segment no ene ye mani ye nche cry we ni to ye we akohwe ye commodity prices no any currency exchange rate no na chese ye ba ni ya ba hwe de ye be koso ye ba sisia ena ensema ekoso efa ye sikasemu ene ye dwedie semu no eno ene de atodwa ma osu ehun ehwe ye commodity prices na as enyama bo no aye stable enyama bo aye stable pa chese bia konkan ma edwadifo pa chese ohwe the prices of gold, cocoa and so on and so forth na tum se bibia ekoso pa na de me no mini edi check account ye currency exchange rate no se ohwe ye dollar ni ye pound na as some few months ago no na ye da 10 na chese for the 2025 ending ne ba January na chese 10 na koso about say na as ye hwiri akodu 11 na ye koyenim ohwe pound 15 so ekonenim kamenya yanka yensanye magic na ye Ghana Bank of Ghana ejuma umudi ya chese ye ma ye sika no ye sidi no stabilize ye mundi sa ejuma ni bio na chese bibia stabilize benim say explanations be brave wo concerning the ye hu nyina explanations ho chese ye mrepam mo ba betu jana chese ye hu ne ekona so me wish ne say kebeko even lower than 10 kra menim say business wise na bibeka say debi but both sides both advantage and disadvantage to the market what you are saying you know ma enkosuru bebre aba 11 na nka akọ 10 kakra na aba 9 na asamba 10 nkika na chese ye say we are in that range na chese we akọ na ohwe 11.29 25 26 ni nkika na air corner especially pound say na 15 plus na chese say ya anye careful ni atututu nema ya one hwa na ede asempa akoba pa yem pese be ko into that situation ni bio sila ye ni IMF ewo nketa wudi a chese omusika asem na omuni yen kan ewo table so no nse Ghana ye de IMF kapa enya asem kito a yeguso a yetuatua but then yem pese bibia be affect sa isika semi na chese no so akwa fa another loan bia san akwa gibio na ede nsem bebre na aba na chese affect the economy no ntino Bank of Ghana, Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning no mo dey answer mo be ya bibia say dey say na cedi na stabilize na bibia konkan mai na afi de nyama na ye toto no commodities no ye toto no so and say gold cry at 1007 plus no dey kan cost roma yen no sa no on say dynamics no say favor yen na ye hu so man ye koyenim na te say bibia konkan enti no ahwefo momondia se mbefa we nyina information na se mda to mu table so na chese won ye ko bia ye business bia no we ade a e so ehunhia opa ye betwa ye ho na ye ba beto so ye ba sesia
Part over the smallest things like say you dey run town, walk around the car, you can make I design you. Everybody talking like they hope me pass myself. Leap a kind of bio, leap a kind of bio, leap a kind. See me a gangster, make a sauce. See me a master, pretty peach. You know some road to be on me toes and say myself. Two things I've never been, let me and the pussy clatter. Trees they make a lazy lately, me mix it tobacco. The grabber, me sense to think mamba. The why me telling me plaster, see mamba. 10 times I'm in the party, we have a net, ya can't import kilos. I can see him go on. 10 times I'm in the party, we have a net, ya can't import kilos. I can see him go on. Emre ninka so na mresi si aso. We see a shada so afeye ni sago. Afeye prayer ho tintam na de moswo. Obi a me country we say jo tamas. Na mre ninka so mresi si aso. We see a shada so afeye ni sago. Afeye prayer ho tintam na de moswo. Obi a me country we say jo tamas. Wala be sorry, wala be kwasa. Wala be frewunyame once in the data nunama we want again to want again we want again then times I'm in the party we have a net ya time kilos I can see them go then times I'm in the party we have a net ya can't put kilos I can see I'm going Savage mix. Everything could have been lovely, but I'm just another guy, just another guy.
Ache emamo akraba yegusua edi Mother's Day no happy Mother's Day biem anyi awufo nyina nyame ehwramo ene odo a modern edi etwe say 9 months ebedru obawu nyina no enye easy intino mame fo nyina nyame hwra obi bia se nano kwesie da celebrity mothers nyina asida biem so enkoma matters me mama bako pe the whole mother mama facha me wate na me ma usasi from Sunday num abusia mu ka me na me sra me mama bone fache onfa me bone enche me ne ba madinu hwamo entino mama baby bia wo bia matters nya me ento nkwanem na bejo na nanom se de Sunday no mede ohwama nka obebọ mpa ya mama se wona nanam obeba no mpa abo na abo mama owutimi nyina no nyame asom ntino this year ubegye na ato na aso ya mama na ye health segment ntimo ni ma test papa asira biem so enkoma Mr. Reggie ani Q ni nyina abusia enne me bedi entertainment segment dwumedi ewo Morning Breeze edwumedi so medi ya medecha so enne akosia adepa yes start your first story abusia Look, I say, somewhere last year, so this year, early this year more. Blacko and Honson send be by a brandy. No hot children a common dinner. Na baby, your dark crowd what the cow need die car and near. Now, so Blacko actually say, oh no, no hon that. Na no, me da a tram. Aye na ye nim say jebe na ye train TGMA, that is Telesom Music Awards ebe tremu na ye na artist of the year na abranti ye Nikita Blacko na Nikita last year. This year Blacko san win artist of the year na nu a okoje ne awards yi na order amanfo ase na Blacko edit to just say Guinness Ghana eye ne sika modeda man 100,000 no monfam waguna boy on Jessica no entino Blacko award wini ye no ono sika no so wonpe anya wonpe o di ye donation say you fan support that come artist now or banner Entina busia kudos to Blacko nyame enya okese wate nyame ensure bebre you move to your next story at least make we carry one Stoneboy leaves TGMA with reggae and dancehall artist of the year award na Stoneboy to anyanum ekakakra bi ketia fa no ko ho
so me here
award bebrebe ko so nyina no Stoneboy akaka me abeko fia nom se debi ye we free abranti no ye nkofa ne mbra ehwa ne announce ye say Stoneboy ena enya reggae or dancehall artist of the year intino the Beam Nation president still keeps the crown in his name and to Stona why you here Onu Nikita, the artist, reggae and dancehall artist of the year. Kwame Eugene, so that they able to dance. Even if I stop music now, the money I had and still make from featured songs such as Love 110 alone can take care of mom forever. Kwame Eugene disclosed about earning from collaboration, including the hit song Love 110. And you know, I see on the Janum Tokrompa. The collaborations are why on Crofon, Macabo, my young, and no quabet me after the mammy, after book with any mammy, because Ninsamechi. And you know, no one we near award be a crumpa and your bonnet. Yeah, move to your next story. Ghanaian rapper Medical is facing criticism online after dedicating his live or hip hop artist of the year award to his son, spaced at the 2026 Television Music Ghana Award. During his acceptance speech, Medical said, "My son inspired me to record that song. Forget everybody." The statement quickly sparked reaction on social media, with some fans questioning why he dedicated the award solely to one child despite being a father of two. Others, however, defended the rapper, saying he had the right to dedicate the award whoever he wanted. Do you think people are overreacting, or was the criticism justified? And Ghana for say Ghanaian rapper Medical, as I said, onya hip hop or hip life artist of the year no. Adey ana nema mienu na Medical dedicated award no to the only son na Medical anya ade na ne maye mienu be bo pa ba ko pese ne ban na no Medical sem no de to just say ne ba ba ma no ni ma me nyi semu nkrofo no ba ne ho papa nanso akwala no ebedru asasa so na etre ne say release anyuma ye friend no forget everybody into no dedicate sa award yi ma ne ba enye bone abuse move to your next story. Asam for life na edeba to just say when asam wejan na fe the intermate say the asam wejan costane for lawyer, Uncle Stanley for Professor Nabi Bia, Shata Swanko for Minister of Defense, Speaker of Parliament, Nehonia man. Any nana say, now I'm gonna know my last Bobo class. You can't free to the first, and you can't free to I'm not mere first class student. A warm school, and in the Shatawale, at the about to Joss, Shatawale reviews. He and Asamoah were always last in class. And you know, then some Parliament House, and here, so dry, public where Asamoah brought from there, and no, say footballers, no, asa mananina ya crack on your banner when you're menintino, or no, Cassa, Montana, Safina, Shatabaka, credit, tia, young one Minister of Defense. Professor, Speaker of Parliament, President, name of Shata so be MP. Into the Mesramo to a man. I'm saying, your last story. A single mom bought a car with a parliamentary sticker on it. Information reaching me that she sells black soap on TikTok. But the question is, how can a TikToker buy a car with a parliamentary sticker on it? There is a lot going on in this country. Ghana and our leaders don't care about it. It's in funny that screen see car see you Ghana coat of arm ebo baby ne lances were was a bon road world in the lances were covered embono and one ababa way at the coat of arm we abo sticker abo and you know parliament sticker abo kai so na chese chese kai ababa we kite mpanifo bi omo aman mu edia ante sanso na mpanifo ni bi na toma no ya na Ghana fo ho kenom sa obi aton black soap for TikTok there eba me say ema wutimi ekoto car ente say na black soap na ada diamond and na gold ana woto me ma me say de bia yeto abuso de bia ye to black soap ti obenya ska koto black soap 50 cedi ni 150 100 cedi ahia sales ayi no ti make here over here him billion car na ye parliamentary sticker ebo ho ti se ne license momayre na yenka Ghana for ese yen sware enti na wo company for enya investigation about kai o de se panini bi na toma amanenti mfiri hu manenti parliament te kan mfiri hu because en kasa ye wanya mampani bi ayere wanya pani bi ayere do gina we ababa wo jo yi na wo mu se mampani be na be di eche pani be minister ban e na be di ababa wo echi se na yere. Sorry to say, your first lady, Mama Lodina, that's where you know say. Second lady, your vice president, Mame Jane Nana. Or that's where you know say. Your former vice president, Nayere, Mrs. Baumia, Samira Baumia. Or that's where you who say. Director so much, Mrs. Samira also, so anymore. Semia no wa for ya babawa so betime yin hu se entempani fo anhwe no monka because baba ya de ayedina wo ndo zero aya no wudi gina wo ayi na wa mu nyina entina busua aha na ye de stories ebesi na enne juma de bi koso awo Ghana on the 12th of May to 17th of May eye juma de ben we ene ye play and win question we na me de be ma eye juma de ben na ya start no ene juma de koso ewo Legon stadium juma de chenche koso bus sponsor ho ena ye be hu dwumadie wo mesra wa dwumadie na dwumadie ben fawo answer no comment efa your social media handles so over Facebook L.A TV Ghana, YouTube so L.A TV Ghana. Me can see stream live away social media handles na man fast da kase maboa for Helios Care Center obi a oto ase etwetwen mu nompemu eyawo ya wo chikasare eyawo ye free be spondylosis oda untimi nda mesra wa abomode ane kopiem Helios Care Center o maso ye ewo Michelle Camp Sankofo Janka mineral water so ewo ho esukodria wonoma ma wanimu ete omirimu eti papa eno ni Janka mineral water Mother's Day ye the Janka mineral water ena serve ye me call name Janka mineral water na me call serve Beacher services and so ewo ho Beacher services ejumaku kasia omuba na hotia chase omubo amumade pay home service and na office so it is your office wo apartment na wasi wo ka po na apase beachot en wo horo homa wa abusua beachot be asra kase en koma me technical crew nyina abusua me gumanu mu nsuo ya ba crew ni nyina ba betna ase.
therefore yemfa enasie kese pa emma yenuaba star girl adepts aha obasa no na chese mo awonu se ejapa eresifia se pa putu mejidi se enne weni age entertainment segment no pa na fiti achina ko dey around pa ti any problem bia na ma test so mpa na se kese pa ma pa se wo so wetumi ahwe your health ni yen weather no ama bibia konkan mai na se abebi edu ni de enkra na na ye ba bedi nkra se nti se mo birthday messages bi wo kwa mami woni ehwe de eko.
All right, nti mi birthday a ene me de tudwa ene se me wishi Alexander Amo Ayesu happy birthday. Nyame hira no na onye ne kese na o masika ne nye bebre na bebre na o de bi hwesoro de abafom na bibia ye kama. Nti Alex bibia wo bia no happy birthday to you.
Yo star girl what messages bia na
me message ni say adenta news site.
Okay,
so am gusu so ye meye hwe ema wom ntini ye besere mpanifo ye pawmacho
yo
na me be na esu emu na nti imagine
omukuma nyina kura mu nsam sa
ye besere mpanifo sa adenta news site zone 5 omumeye gata no omeye gata ne ma wom na
we aseme dun dem just ye tutu ye nan ne ye ko na chese
ye yankasa kohode a maybe ombe hu say ye ni abi
nti bomodin so be sa
we dey make come achi na ye send me picture bi ni birthday kese bi pa e 72 gianti ye the birthday kese fiti obia oko ACI e dey ma yankasa papa Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams ene eye ni birthday ni esi nyame enye ne kese pa send ya watch no say live long and prosper until even papa won fie so san live long and prosper ye da wase so de nyamesem pa e kogen ene nyansa sem wisdom e de ahye wo ma yetirim ene tie say happy birthday to you
sa pepe say ye sponsors no so say yetumi e da wase pa so asin na chese ye hunu eko
ye de na sebema Helios Care Center omo Michelle Camps Sankofo udu wa osabe kan na wachi no mpene ye oye ni nyina omo ahwe atiamo afi so no Bitot Cleaning Services ye say ye damase na New Nation Travel and Tours so ye da omasese omaso yemu
sa
asida biam so enkoma Bitot Services janka mineral water media Bitot no ahotie o ahotie enu nti no men konja Bitot ntabusa mfancha me janka mineral water ensu krojin a onoma onya apomden pansu a ye de afa machine mu de emu nu a wose ye mfa keka account ntabusa kotu janka mineral water ni bi rent na ebeba so ne awo awonya ofie nyina no mo janka mineral water
yo ayefo ye damase pa se maje emre na mwatenate na mabibia akonkan ewo ye show yi so chese ehwe de we ade bia mojimre na moni ye show na ni kapa tinase pa enkoma mu nyina modi mafidie no to hase amoni yen ehwebo mu pa wo L.A TV Morning Breeze show no so na ye kai mo se obi a wo business bia wo ben yen bia no chadon potemu ase na bomodi se obi ba hu yen ye wo special packages bia ye de atudwa ye pese obi a wo sa ye potemu no wotumi bana wo so do ho ba gym na chese bibia konkan ma we de wonsa Ghana for de ye ka se bibi ye free ya na sometimes ya no mo adwum we mo bi na kakra but we a very special professional free pa na de ma pa
na ba kun so metina ho sa ye awie no na afi na ho be ka se na no metise mo ka se na ye awie nso it's in the end forever but ebeni brand ne be but see ya de ye ti wo bia no abantem
sa it bo modern so to one na mo na chese wozo odi wadwuma na be kan ye ho na chese yesu yetimi ya hwe na bibia konkan ma enti no ye damase pa bi o sada modi mafidi na to amahwe L.A TV Morning Breeze show no ye damase pa ye kramo ye be sen shi achina